Post spooky green text. I'll start. Be me, college student. Planning to go on backpacking trip with a friend in Appalachia. Let's call him Nick. Planned trip is only a 2-day, 18-mile hike. No big deal. Close to Christmas time, so we aren't expecting the trail to be busy. On the stretch we are looking at. First night, we are looking at staying at a hostel. Second night, we will be camping in tents at a campground. Our plan seemed bulletproof. Packed my Ruger Wrangler in case we ran into some rabbits to cook. The stretch of the trail we were planning on hiking was pretty rocky, so we made sure to have extra first aid supplies, just in case one of us sprained our ankle. Fast forward to Friday night. Drive up. We get to the dirt lot outside of the stretch of the trail. It's around 8 p.m. So, already dark, but the hostel we will be sleeping in for the night is only around 1 mile out. Get there at around 8:30. Took us around 10 minutes to get the stuff out of my car. Only people there, so we don't have to worry about being quiet. Shut the door behind us. Rev up our camp stoves to make some tasty freeze-dried spaghetti. Yum.jpg. Head to bed at 10 p.m. as we will need to rest for tomorrow's hike. Hostels on this stretch of the trail are basically cabins. They have steel doors, and this particular one had a skylight. To add to this, sleeping arrangements were wooden bunks, around 8 total in this hostel. There were 2 wooden tables for eating, nailed to the floor in the center of the room. We chose to sleep in the bunk directly across from the door, with me on the bottom bunk and Nick on the top. Wake up suddenly, still kind of asleep. Check watch. 2:14 a.m. Skylight is covered. Must have snowed. Snow wasn't on the forecast. Kinda odd, but whatever. It's December in the Northeast. Not that out of the question. About to go to sleep when I hear a light tapping on the steel door to the shelter. At first, think that it must be a hiker showing up late. Get up to open the door for them when I stop myself. Why the fuck would someone decide to hike on a notoriously rocky section at midnight? Decide that it's just an animal. Go back in my sleeping bag and head back to sleep. Around 20 minutes later, I wake up again to door sounds. This time, someone knocking instead of tapping. Consider shitting my pants, but manage not to. See that Nick is already up, shining his flashlight at the door. Dude, what the fuck is happening? I ask. You think someone is trying to get in? He spits back. No shit.png. Whatever the hell was knocking on the door, we weren't letting them in. If it was a person, they would just have to set up their tent and sleep outside for the night. Knocking continues for around 10 more minutes until it finally stops. Guess the dumbass finally took a hint, I whisper. Nick chuckles, but then we hear what sounds like a man crying on the other side of the door. Not a kid, but like a 60-year-old man. We both freeze, completely in fight or flight mode. Maybe it's just an animal. Except, I don't know what fucking animal sounds like a crying old dude. Snap out of it and decide to draw my Ruger. But feel that whatever the hell is making that noise won't give a shit about being shot with a .22. Noise starts to get higher. Off the ground, that is. Until suddenly, it seems that the source is on the roof. Slowly look at the snow-covered skylight. Clearly see boot prints just in the center of it. Fuck this shit, I'm out. .mp4. Pull out satellite phone, since we aren't dumb and packed one just in case. Dial 911. Tell them where we are, and that there is a crying geriatric on the hostel we are in. 911 operator sounds like she's trying to hold back a laugh, but tells us an officer is heading over there to check it out. Suddenly, feel a bit relief. 45 minutes later, old dude is still crying on the skylight. We see a red and blue strobe reflect off the snow. Finally, he's here. Crying from old dude stops. Boot prints still at the same spot on the skylight. Me and Nick quickly put on our shirts to get up and meet him. He knocks on the door. Received a report of an old man crying on the roof. Haha, yep, that's us. We'll be there in a second. Put down my Ruger. I'd still rather not get shot by a trigger-happy cop. Let him in and tell him what the fuck has been happening for the past 2 hours at this point. Show him the boot prints on the roof. He still seems to not be quite buying it, but he says he'll do a perimeter check of the hostel to see if he can find any prints or personal items of someone who could be messing with us. Goes back out to the door, closes it behind him. In the meantime, Nick and I set up a lantern and decide to sit at one of the tables and wait. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 15 minutes. 20 minutes. Wonder what the fuck is taking so long. Decide to check over at the skylight and notice that now there are 2 sets of boot prints instead of just 1. We end up staying awake until sunrise, until finally gathering the courage to go outside and see what the fuck was happening. Cop car is gone. No sign of the officer. Dude just bailed on us. What an asshole, Nick says, considering calling 911 and complaining, when Nick gets a genius idea. There's a tree overhanging the roof, and he wants to go climb it and go up on the roof to check out the boot prints. Tell him it's a mega dumb plan, and that we should just head back to my car and scrap the trip. He's adamant on doing it. Fine, but try to get a picture of the prints. I concede. Eat my breakfast. Grits while waiting for him to get down. He doesn't. No noise coming from the roof. Oh fuck. Whatever was up there must have got him. Decide to climb roof myself. When I reach the top, find nothing except Nick's phone right next to the boot prints. Yell out for him on the roof, assuming he should be close and able to hear me. No reply. Pick up phone and check his pictures. Took around 5. Click the first one. Picture of the roof, nothing on it. Seems normal. Second one. Picture of the sun. Third one. Picture of a black work boot sitting on the roof. Fourth one. Super close-up picture of the snow. Assumed he dropped the phone at this point. Fifth one. Picture of me eating my grits next to the hostel. Without thinking, immediately get off the roof and run back to my car. Fuck packing my shit or finding Nick. I'll file a missing persons report. Drive to the nearest town and call the local PD. Hi, I need to file a missing persons report. Me and my friend were sleeping overnight at a hostel on the Appalachian Trail, and he went missing in the morning while looking for something on the roof. Also, you guys sent an officer here, and he left without doing anything. We are aware, and we had an emergency he needed to attend. Answers the man who sounds oddly familiar. Hey, wait a fucking second. You're the asshole that hangs up. No idea if they even filed the report. Decide to look around the hostel myself, just to at least get our stuff, and see if I could find any footprints that could be his. This time, bring my Mauser I have in the trunk of my car, just to have more of a fighting chance against whatever was on the roof. Park in the lot again. Walk until I can see the hostel. See what looks like a torn shirt on the stairs to the door. Exact shirt Nick wore the night before. Feel an immense wave of dread dawn on me. Know for certain that he's not going to be found if they even try searching for him. Go back to my car feeling defeated. No idea what I'm going to do or what that thing was that most likely killed my friend, or why the police refuse to take me or the situation seriously.